Slave DiBiase.
Thank y'all, man. Hold on, let me get the frames on. Because it's kind of a cool day today. Salute everybody that may watch this content, whether religiously or in passing. Thank you for pulling up to another live 420 sesh with the Offenders Initiative podcast. I am your illustrious host, Slave DiBiase, aka got so many shades they thought I had a lazy eye, aka Victor Von Slay, aka Tony Spark, aka Slate Daniel Richards, and we are here, man. Happy Friday to everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, share and share alike, because without that, how would I know that y'all love what I'm doing, man? And again, I appreciate everybody that pulled up. You could have been anywhere in the world for your 420 sesh, but you're here with your boy. You feel me? Salute to Jamie Lanier. She's always in the chat. One of my good moderators. Salute. You know what I'm saying? Small content creators unite. Please don't hesitate to also follow her as well. She does IRL gig content, man. Over 11,000 subscribers. That is good content. Check her out. That's my folks. Check her out, y'all. But yeah. What's going on with everybody, man? Y'all see what it is, man? Another good sesh. The Invincible 4 season 4 premiere. We got to react to that, man. Did anybody see Invincible? Did you see Invincible when it came out? What about Beauty in Black? I told you I was going to watch Beauty in Black. I watched the whole thing with my wife. As a matter of fact, we're probably going to start there. Rick Ross versus Remy Ma. That boy Officer Ricky is at it again. Hell, I am really starting to hate rappers and rap all together, because you talk gangster and do non-gangster shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't get it, man. Tell me in the comments what you're smoking on, what you're smoking out of, you know what I'm saying, and where you're from. Right now, we're going to tap in with the recap of Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black. You can find that on Netflix. It just dropped. I watched the whole thing. This was better than the first half of the season, in my opinion. So hold on, y'all. We about to get into it. This is by way of bingeable recaps. Salute and subscribe to them. Give them a subscribe and like, and let's get to it, y'all.
Beauty in Black Season 2, Part 2 begins where Part 1 ended. Some guys with masks arrive at Charles's place, and Varney initially assumes that they are police. But from their shoes, Charles realizes that it is still the same people he killed
that called for backup. Do your job.
They strip the place clean by taking his money, his watch, and everything else in the safe. Once they leave, Varney is pissed because this whole nightmare stems from Charles constantly bringing strippers home and making himself a target. Now that Charles has officially added murderer with a body in the house to his resume, Varney wants no part of it and walks out without lifting a finger to help. Charles.
Okay, let's go back real quick. I'm going to let y'all know right now. Attorney Varney and Charles right here. I'm glad this whole situation is over with. It's a little too graphic for my good eyes, but I will say this. I'm glad that he started standing up to Charles, even though everybody in the family talks to Attorney Varney like he's a hoe, and he's the one covering all of their bullshit. I just don't get it. And he be letting them. You dark skinned and like 6-7 feet tall, man. You look like you got some weight on you, bro. Stop letting them folks talk to you like a hoe. His character pisses me off so much because I guess when you're money hungry or you're worried about money, you'll let people talk to you however, like that. It brings down your value because you're trying to get a bag. I just don't like it.
Target. Now that Charles has officially added murderer with a body in the house to his resume, Varney wants no part of it and walks out without lifting a finger to help. Charles is forced to call his mom to handle the literal and metaphorical mess, but she asks him to pay $250K for the cleaners, which Charles now needs to find. As for Jules's son that Rain pushed.
Nah, hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back to his crooked ass mama, Charles' crooked ass mama. First of all, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I love Beauty in Black because there are no good guys on this show. Nobody's a good guy. In my opinion, everybody's a villain. Whether you physically done something, whether a character has done something, or there's another character that knows of somebody else doing something, I'm telling you right now, this is a whole show full of black corporate villains, and I love it. His mama is super crooked. Uncle Norman's super crooked. You know what I'm saying? The Jules character, super crooked.
Handle the literal and metaphorical mess, but she asks him to pay $250K for the cleaners, which Charles now needs to find. As for Jules's son that Rain pushed from the window, he's still alive, and he's rushed to the hospital. Alex agrees to stick to the story that he fell just to keep the heat off Rain.
The Alex dude, right? This cat.
Alex agrees to stick to the story that he fell just to keep the heat off Rain.
Alex is starting to piss me off because he does seem like he's a tad bit on the fence, even though he did catch a couple of bodies for Rain earlier in the season. I don't know. It's just, I kind of feel like if it was them or him, he would definitely choose him, even though they're supposed to be all in it together. Watch the Jappa nigga, y'all. Watch the Jappa nigga.
Kimmy immediately goes to check on her sister, and the girl reveals that Glenn wasn't trying to rape her, that it was consensual. Kimmy is baffled that her sister would jump into bed with a total stranger, but Sylvie is—
Hold up. Kimmy, you can't say nothing like that. You were a whole traveling circus of horrorism at one point in your life. Now, because you got a couple of pearls on and you done bumped a couple of curls in your hair, you could tell your sister don't sleep with strangers. Motherfucker, you was sleeping with strangers. What you talking about?
Not having it and reminds Kimmy that she is in no position to judge anyone's life choices. Sylvie wants to go and check up on the boy, but Kimmy forbids her because they don't want it tying to them at all. She wants to send Sylvie to college as soon as possible to get her as far away from the Bellary family, which is the best thing she can do right now, because the safety net Kimmy thinks she has for Rain, Sylvie, and Angel is actually a total illusion. Roy has finally found some leverage. Even though Kimmy is protected by the will—
Yo, Roy made me laugh this whole season because shit. Every time he stepped in the room and he talked to Attorney Barney, he was calling him all sorts of agates and bitches and punk bitches and all of that. And I'm like, yo, I know you're not about to let light-skinned boy just keep disrespecting you like this. But Attorney Barney just sitting up there, yes, sir. Well, no, sir. Yes, sir. I hope when they go into season 3, because this is the end of season 2, when they go into season 3, please let Attorney Barney punch somebody in their face for talking to him crazy, because he been a little bitch the entire season. I don't like it.
The changes to the will that protect Rain, Sylvie, and Angel that Horace thought Varney had filed have not been processed yet. After discovering that Varney is gay and has been sleeping with Charles, Roy uses this secret to blackmail him into stalling the legal filings. Varney is forced to call the clerk and ask for the will back under the guise of making amendments, which means they are officially unprotected and fair game for the Bellarys. This lack of protection for Rain—
They're trying to set Kimmy and her sister and Rain up to be killed so that they can get them out the way so they can go back on to, you know what I'm saying, how things normally are. Roy always high in his office smoking Marlboros, and he was a nasty motherfucker. First of all, to be smoking cigarettes. Second of all, you smoke Marlboros? Ew. I know you stink. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can go back to their regular crooked business. If Kimmy's in the mix, you know what I'm saying, backed by Mr. Bellary, Horace, there's no stopping her. She can get back on everybody.
Angel and Sylvie cannot happen at a worse time, because Jules isn't buying the story that his son fell. Once his instinct is confirmed, Rain is a goner. Roy is so happy with himself that he celebrates the only way he knows how to, sleeping.
Whatever strip club this is, they had a whole situation where, you know, you pay a little $500, pull around back, and you get to do whatever you want with whatever girl of your pick. So this is supposed to be his new little joint. Y'all remember her nasty looking ass from last season, right? Yeah. Yuck.
With girls and doing cocaine. Over in Italy, it seems Papa Bellary is not going to the grave just yet, because his treatment was actually successful. He is feeling much better and preparing to return to America, though the doctors want to keep him for a few more hours of observation. Mallory, still on her mission to take down Kimmy, heads to the strip club to meet her informant, Felicia. Since Charles is too traumatized by his recent robbery to go with her, she drags Varney along instead. It turns out Felicia does not actually have any dirt on Kimmy and is just playing games for money. But Mallory does walk away with one juicy piece of information. Felicia admits she is sleeping with Roy, and he is—
The way Felicia admits she was sleeping with Roy is kind of an understatement. Salute to bingeable recaps and all that, rewatches and all that. But the way she told her, she was like, she said, so you had sex with my husband? She said, yep, and it was good too. Like, come on, you got to have some sort of decorum here if everybody's finding out an awkward situation at the same time. You don't rub it in and make it worse. Oh, no. This uncouth creature of the night, Felicia, Whoever, shout out to the young lady that plays her on the show, because she's playing her all the way out. She got me thinking that this character is a complete nasty motherfucker, which she is.
Coming to see her soon. Mallory decides to wait and then catches Roy in the act. I thought she was going to go after Roy and beat him up, but instead she goes after Felicia.
I don't get that. Ladies, can somebody tell me, any of my female supporters here, can anybody tell me why whenever you catch a man with another woman, you jump on the woman? The woman might not know nothing about you. What you jumping on her for? The woman don't owe you any sort of loyalty. The man do. What you jumping on her for? I don't condone violence in any sort of relationships at all. But if anybody should be getting their ass whipped, it should be Roy right now. He probably ain't gonna feel it. He's so coked up though.
The fight at the club eventually dies down, and Varney takes a shaken Mallory home, marking a turning point in their unlikely friendship. Mallory is drowning in a mix of sadness and rage.
Unlikely friendship? Yeah. We gonna stop all that. Let's not act like in the first season she literally threw the put. Yo, Mallory be trying to. She would just be giving it out. She be trying to get that little thing out, man. She was trying to throw it at him before she found out he was gay. She threw it to the driver. You know what I'm saying? She threw it to Mo with the gimpy leg. You know what I'm saying? She be throwing it to everybody, boy. High class little creature of the night. I ain't mad at you.
Yet she pushes Varney away because she cannot stand the thought of his pity. When Varney questions if her anger stems from a lingering love for Roy, Mallory is quick to shut.
Hold on. Jamie Lanier says when it comes to women jumping on the woman instead of the man, she says, yeah, they know. A lot of times they know. I don't want to hear that. They might not know about me bullshit. Okay. Now see why I got to be all that. So you know what? I ain't even mad at you. I guess if I'm whooping his ass, I might as well whoop everybody's ass in the room. I ain't mad at you. You know what? You might be right about that.
That down by explaining that their marriage was purely about survival. The reason she is so livid is not due to a broken heart, but rather the ultimate disrespect of being discarded after everything she sacrificed to keep the Bellary Empire afloat.
That ain't it. She still loves Roy because if y'all can remember the first season, they would just trade shots. I hate you, bitch. Bitch, I hate you. You stink, bitch. Bitch, you stink. You know, they would just tell each other, I hate you. I don't know why I'm still doing this. Woo, woo, woo. But the moment she actually caught one of the girls Roy was sleeping with, she blacked out. I don't know. It kind of made me feel like she still got a little thing for Roy. I don't know.
Despite seeing how angry she was, Roy has the audacity to bring Felicia back to the family home. Little do they know,
Okay. If y'all can remember, she just said that Attorney Varney dropped Mallory off. So obviously you see Mallory sitting right there on the steps, right? If you really, really look, when I was watching this with my wife, I slick had to look real quick because I'm like, I don't know. It's just me, but you can do whatever you want, right? You know, you're going to fuck off in your relationship. But there's a couple of things you just don't do. You don't bring back no babies. You don't bring back no diseases. And you damn sure don't bring the hooker to your home, man. And that's vice versa. That is like the most disrespectful shit ever. Those three things, babies, diseases, and bringing a motherfucker to the crib. So he obviously, like, at this point, you're telling this woman you don't respect her even in the slightest, like on some, we might not like each other on the marriage type, but I'm not going to disrespect you. No. Roy Biggs, you gone too far. Took that woman to his house.
Mallory is also there. Once they enter the bedroom, she locks them in and heads straight for her car.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I might be a little crazy, but I was watching it with my wife, and I told my wife, I said, if she's doing what I think she's doing, I'd have been with all of that. I said she should burn that motherfucking house with them in it, right then and there. Lock them in that room. And as she was doing what she was doing, I was thinking to myself, burn their ass down with them in it. And she was on that. Mallory was on it. Mallory is crazy as shit. She might have officially graduated to the craziest motherfucker on the show. Sorry.
In the craziest display of anger I have ever seen, she aims the vehicle at the room and floors it, crashing into the house and sparking a fire. Instead of running, Mallory sits in the rising smoke and flames, seemingly ready to—
And then she lit up a marble. That's how I know she crazy.
Go down with the ship. The whole time, Angel has been acting a damn fool, like someone who has never seen money before.
That's because he has it. I'm not going to lie to you. The both of them kind of get on my nerves for real. Everybody that's with Kimmy has kind of lost track of what we're trying to do here. Kimmy's trying to get what she can and get from up under these folks before they find a way to take her off the map, her and her peoples. Angel done got this car from his daddy, because that's what I'm gonna call Mr. Bellery, Horace to him. You got a whole daddy, you got a pimp. You spending up all the man money, acting like you ain't never been nowhere. He go to the mall and ball out. I don't understand the boy Angel as if he's not around people that have knocked off people he loved. He done got locked up behind his family. He's just a little too comfortable for me, and he's stupid. He don't listen to nobody. That's kind of a difference from how he acted in the first season.
He has been going shopping, buying things, and is at the club right now blowing Horace's money and posting the evidence all over social media.
Why does everybody got to post that they all out balling out of control online? Stop posting everything on motherfucking line, y'all. Stop it.
Seen money before. He has been going shopping, buying things, and is at the club right now blowing Horace's money and posting the evidence.
Look, his BM watching them. If y'all can recall, now hold on. She kicked him out last season, but you still have a child over there. You should be sending her something, bro. You should be sending her something. My man forgot about that whole thing. He just went over there to be a whole femboy for Horace. That is crazy.
Evidence all over social media. Even his baby mama comes to attack him because she is struggling while Angel is blowing almost $39,000 in the club. Horace, who has been watching everything online and calling him repeatedly with no response.
Here's my thing, right? Because if y'all watch season 1, y'all know Horace, like, he went to the strip club acting like he was there for women where he really wanted to look at man's butt. Which, you know what I'm saying? If that's what you want to do, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you got your boy Angel over there. He playing like he a fun boy. It's gonna be all good until you gotta really, really lay down with this old ass man and do some fun boy shit. I want to see how I don't want to exactly see how that's gonna go, but I want to see his reaction when he be like, yeah, when Horace get back and be like, yeah, you blew 39,000 of my money. Come on in the room. When that old ass man tell him come on, that's gonna be the shock of his world.
Finally loses his patience and sends gunmen to shoot up the club as a gentle reminder. Angel is given exactly 30 minutes to get to the Bellery mansion because Horace is going to call, and if he...
Horace a whole thug. Horace shot up the club and said, bitch, get your ass home. You got 30 minutes.
He doesn't pick up, he's dead. Except he can't leave because his baby mama has vandalized his car. It was actually Angel and Rain who came to the club together. Rain wants to buy the club, so she came to meet the owner's son. But when she was ready to leave...
Rain wants to buy that nasty ass club that they was prostituting and dancing in. Do y'all think that's a good investment? Everybody that's been watching the show, if you have been watching the show, everybody, thank y'all for pulling up. Everybody might have just pulled up just now. Do y'all think her buying that club is actually a good investment?
Angel was too busy partying to take her seriously. Now he is begging her for help. Rain, having been picked up earlier by Alex, decides to come back and get him, and they start racing back. But en route, they spot the blaze, and Alex leaps into action. He manages to pull a dazed Mallory from the smoke, while also rescuing Roy and Felicia from the inferno. Angel slides into the house just as the phone rings.
They was in the car talking about, man, they house burning down. Motherfucker says, so? Keep driving.
While he is shaking with fear, Kimmy and Rain can only laugh because they warned him that his flashy lifestyle would eventually trigger Horace's wrath. While Varney was at the club with Mallory, a stripper was harassing him for legal help. Varney eventually meets with him, and the dancer reveals that he and his sister were caught smuggling drugs and were forced into the stripping circuit to avoid prison. Worse.
Bro, nah, hold on, go back. This part had me rolling, hold on.
The dancer reveals that he and his sister were caught smuggling drugs and were forced into the stripping circuit.
Buddy right here that came out, he be talking to everybody in there like they kids and little bitches. He said, the fuck you doing outside? Get your ass on that stage, man. Fuck wrong with you? He said, hey, sorry, papi.
To avoid prison. Worse, his sister witnessed Rain killing Dega and is now in hiding from Jules's enforcers. If he doesn't produce his sister, he will be killed. It is the exact same system Kimmy was once trapped in. Varney agrees to take the case, even bringing the stripper home for some consultation time. Their
consultation time.
Romantic moment is hilariously interrupted by Charles.
Look at Charles. Charles a hater. Charles come talking to Varney, talking about he wants some help. And Varney like, yo, yeah, first of all, no, I'm not helping you. Second of all, stop getting high and drinking. Third of all, get the fuck. And look, Charles talking to the little whore right here, telling him to get the fuck. This whole, I don't know how that world operates, but it was funny to watch.
Who is lurking in the house until Varney literally has to carry him out. Charles's night doesn't get any better when his mom calls. The $250,000 cleaning fee she asked for was actually to pay off a debt to some loan sharks who have now slashed her leg.
She was lying to her son and had her son robbed to the point where he had to body somebody just so she could pay off her gambling debts because she ain't got no goddamn money. You can't trust nobody no more. Your own mama set you up?
The next day, Kimmy attempts to extend an olive branch to Mallory at the office, recognizing that Mallory is the real brains behind the company's success.
She is.
Mallory is still blinded by jealousy, believing Kimmy wants Roy, but Kimmy sets the record straight. She explains that sleeping with Roy was never a choice but a means.
It was business. Get out your feelings. She don't want no damn Roy. For real, there would be no season 3 if these two would have had a conversation straight out the gate and got everything out there. If I was her, I wouldn't have liked Kimmy walking around there too. A woman that done, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want nothing like that. Some man done been with my wife and we all at the job just kikiing and all. Man, nah, bro. Somebody got to die.
Means of survival, just like it is for Felicia. While Mallory doesn't quite grasp the gravity of that statement yet, Varney calls her with an urgent need to meet face to face. The clock is ticking down to the moment Mallory realizes the women around her are not rivals, but victims of a trafficking operation run by Jules and Norman. As for Jules,
the ex-trafficking empire is about to come crumbling down. Jules and Norman, their time of running hoes is about to be over with.
he is told his son is brain dead with the doctors planning to unplug him. But when Jules returns to the hospital room, Sylvie is already there to say she's sorry. Kimmy and Rain specifically told Angel to watch over Sylvie, but the guy is so incompetent that Sylvie has managed to slip away.
No, first of all, Sylvie managed to slip away. You leaving a whole grown man that can't take care of himself in charge of another motherfucker. So that was Kimmy's fault all damn day. You watch your own sister. Secondly, her sister hard-headed, because had she stayed around the house, she never would have caught up to this dude right here.
And now she has to explain to Jules why she is sorry. Sylvie tries to lie her way out of it, claiming she is just there for a friendly visit because Glenn was nice to her, but Jules is no novice. He refuses to let Sylvie go, forces her to stay by his side as his son is unplugged from life support, and demands she accompany him to the morgue. Kimmy is still under the impression that Sylvie is at home. She calls to check on her sister, and Sylvie fakes being in bed. But
Sylvie did the old school thing that we used to do when we was kids. You call yourself want to sneak out, you put the pillows under the damn blanket, and then you kind of leave something to make it look like your hair is there, some shit like that. She did that and put a wig under that motherfucker. Nobody checked on that girl all day. Terrible parenting.
Jules may not be able to touch Sylvie because Kimmy has managed to file the will. Horace found out about the delay and told her to stay on Varney's neck, but since Jules is still operating on Roy's old tip about the delay, he might still think the girls are fair game. Charles is at the hospital waiting for his mom when he receives a phone call from
that little whimsical, always got some fly shit to say back to somebody. That version of Charles we saw in the first season, after he chopped them bodies up and had them in his bathroom and his mama had to clean it up for him, he ain't been the same the whole season. He ain't been the same. Look at him. Still wearing the same clothes.
The people she owes. His mom fakes the woman being a church member, but the woman has already told Charles that his mom owes her money. It turns out the people who robbed Charles were sent by his own mother. She was also the one who sent people to rob Horace. Being a gambling addict, she has been trying to scrape together money to pay back her debts, and she betrayed and robbed her own son for it. Since she was only able to steal $40,000,
he could have got killed, bro. That's what I'm trying to understand. He could have got killed.
From Charles's safe. She now threatens him, giving him 2 days to find $250,000, or the bodies she helped him clean up will turn up in places he doesn't want. Charles is devastated that even his mother could treat him this way. He tries to get Varney to help, but Varney does not care. Charles then tries Roy. Even worse, Roy is too busy sulking over Mallory, trying to kill him to care about anything.
Roy is the biggest idiot on this entire show. I'm gonna tell you something. I hate somebody that think they smart that's like not smart, but they telling everybody, yeah, you think I'm dumb, don't you? You think I'm dumb, don't you? You know what? Yeah, I do. You stupid as hell. Dumbass nigga with a suit on.
Else. At the end of the day, Charles calls his father for help, but Horace refuses too. Though knowing Horace, Olivia crossing him like that won't go unanswered, so Charles might still benefit from whatever revenge comes next, but for now he cannot get the money Olivia is demanding. Varney eventually gets to speak with Mallory, and he wants to use the information he got from the stripper to take down the Belleries and even Charles. Mallory cannot let them take down Roy entirely, though, because they are legally tied together by marriage.
That's the only thing. She wouldn't even have to worry about all of that if they'd just let him burn.
His shares disappear, hers disappear too. They settle on incapacitating Roy and sending the other Bellarys to jail, using the trafficking information. But they need to know if Horace is involved, and that means they need Kimmy. Mallory tells Kimmy they need to work together. She has dug up everything. How Kimmy was a straight-A student whose life got derailed when her stepfather was abusing her. How she ended up caught smuggling with Rain, and how Rain was born in prison, right through to everything they endured in foster care.
That was a sad story for her to push out, you know what I'm saying, onto them. I was sad even hearing about it. You've been drugged, you've been ex-trafficked, you was born in jail, your mama was a hoe, you was a hoe. It was a sad story to hear about all of them because both of those girls are supposedly smart.
Mallory finds common ground in their shared trauma, revealing she was also an orphan in the foster care system before Horace plucked her out during a modeling search. The plan to take down the Bellary Empire hinges on the stripper and his sister, who are currently holed up in a hotel. Varney heads there to secure them, but Jules's men already have the location. Just as it looks like they are about to be caught, Alex comes to the rescue. Jules's man doesn't know Alex is working for Kimmy now, so Alex is able to lead him astray and guide Varney to spirit the witnesses away to safety.
Okay, all right. You know what? I get a little high sometimes. I forgot he did that for Attorney Varney. Yeah, he is. He might be on their side. I don't know. I still don't trust the Japan nigga.
The team is set to meet at the Bellary mansion to strategize, but Mallory teaches Roy and Felicia a quick lesson first. Roy is actively trying to provoke Mallory by inviting Felicia into the office to flaunt their relationship right in front of her.
Yo, hold on. Let me bag it up for y'all to see here. Hold up. Roy was wilding. He had old girl dancing for him in the office. Before he even got her down there to do that, he busted in his wife's office and was like, yeah, she gonna be working here now. He was like, I know you wilding. So she told the girl, she said, excuse me, I think we should have some coffee right quick because it's about to be a long night. We got a lot of work to do.
Felicia into the office to flaunt their relationship right in front of her, and Mallory gets even by drenching them both in scalding hot coffee.
Yes.
A chaotic physical fight breaks out,
Love
with
it.
Kimmy and Rain jumping in to help Mallory beat up Roy, just before Alex arrives to pull the women away.
And what it is it's the disrespect. That's why I'm like, yeah, throw the coffee on him and her. It's the disrespect. You can do all the cheating in the world, bro. Just have some respect. Have some respect. You have no respect. Now I got to get you up out of here.
When Kimmy gets home and is told Sylvie has been asleep all day, something doesn't sit right. She goes to check for herself and finds a wig and pillows arranged in the bed. Panic sets in as she realizes her sister is likely with Jules. But the situation at the morgue takes a surprising turn. When Jules informs Glenn's mother about his death, he discovers the tragic truth that his son likely fell because he had a seizure caused by her drug use during pregnancy. Jules didn't even know his son had that condition because he was barely present in the boy's life. What's even more disturbing is her complete lack of grief.
Complete lack of grief is an understatement. He asked her, he said, you high right now, ain't you? Look at her face. She said, whatever. Ain't nobody high. Mind your damn business. She was like, yo, your son is dead. He said, oh, well, he was like, that's better than him being down here. She said, and I quote, rest in peace, little nigga. What? Yeah, you definitely getting high.
Son is dead. In a fit of rage, Jules wipes out the entire household of dealers, including her, before releasing Sylvie with a terrifying warning to stay silent.
I'm actually not mad at him for wiping that whole house. The fact that she didn't care nothing about their son being dead. No, he wasn't there for him his whole life, but it's still his son. You don't say no shit like that, man. Jules, this season was a whole crash out. I'm telling you.
Sylvie finally gets home. Kimmy is furious at first because she specifically told her not to go near that boy, but Sylvie makes her sister understand why she slept with Glenn. After everything she went through with their stepfather, it was about reclaiming control, trying to replace trauma with something she actually chose. She wanted a good sexual experience to erase the bad ones, and Kimmy finally understands. The brush with death convinces Sylvie to listen, and she agrees to head to college to escape.
Yeah, because Jules got a phone call on the way to wherever he was about to take her, because y'all just saw he had her in the trunk. He was about to take her up out of there, but somebody told him, yo, the addendum, it's gotten filed. Kimmy is permanently under the protection of Mr. Bellery, along with her sister and Rain. So if he would have done something to this girl, it would have took everybody out.
The Bellery shadow. The team knows the trafficking players are Norman and Jules, but there is a third name attached to the dirty money, Mallory. Roy had been using an old alias to funnel dirty money into shell companies in Mallory's name without her knowledge. Suspicion immediately falls on Mallory, but Kimmy realizes it is a setup. It's the same alias Roy used for Kimmy back when he didn't want her to know he was a Bellery. They agree on a game plan and call a board meeting for the next day, one that every member must attend. The family tries to postpone it, arguing that per their bylaws all board members must be present, but Horace arrives back in the US just in time.
Look at Horace. Horace walked back in there looking like Billy D on their head. You heard me? He had the big cigar. He not walking around coughing and shit no more. Whatever medicine they got in Italy, they need to bring that shit over here because Horace coming back looking about 20 years younger. He walked in there. He had his little cane, but I think the cane was just for a look at that point. The man was perfectly healthy.
Kimmy lays everything out. Per the will, any member proven to be an addict forfeits their shares until they get clean. Roy refuses to provide a urine sample, so a hair follicle test is done, which confirms he is an addict. His shares are stripped, and this does not affect Mallory's. For Charles, the murders he committed result in his shares being frozen until he is cleared. For Olivia, she has been siphoning money out of the company through radio stations and other channels. For Norman, beyond the siphoning, there is also the trafficking operation he has been running with Jules. Roy tries to counter, bringing up the fact that Mallory killed Norman's wife.
No. I mean, that's one thing. We're going to get to that. But Norman ran his mouth because she was sitting there. Kimmy asked him, she was like, so who's the head of y'all organization? Is it you or Jules? Mind you, Jules sitting right across from him. He said, Jules is a dummy. He could never do nothing like this. I'm the ringleader. This is all my shit. I'm in charge. While they're doing all this talking, look at this fool. He running his mouth right now. Jules is sitting next to him and telling him, stop talking. Like, nah, fuck that, Jules. Yeah, fuck that. Since we, you know, you're cokehead. Look at him. He never like really opened his mouth a whole lot. Like the whole season, he was talking like Stevie J. No. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So since we're gonna talk, we're gonna put it all out there. Your Uncle Norman, Mallory knocked off your wife. Yeah, how about that? No. How about that? Yo, your man was tripping. Whole time Jules telling him, stop talking, bro. Stop.
Which Mallory flatly denies. Norman also reveals that he has tied the company into so much illegal activity that a large portion of Beauty and Black's revenue runs through shady dealings, and he threatens to expose everything and take them all down with him if he is pushed out. That is when Horace, Mallory, and Kimmy reveal their trump card. They have already cut a deal with the feds, who storm the room and arrest the corrupt members of the family. The victory is bittersweet, though, because several loose ends remain. Rain appears to have walked into a scam after handing over $75,000 to Delinda's son for the club, and he was acting very shady throughout. Olivia's unpaid debts are still looming. Norman will almost certainly come after Mallory and Jules for covering up his wife's murder, and Jules has already figured out that Alex has been working against him, so Alex's days are numbered.
Alex might be up out of that season 3, y'all. That's my early prediction.
As for Charles, honestly, the guy didn't really do much wrong compared to the others, so it is hard to feel like his punishment fits.
No. Because he chopped up those bodies, those guys that tried to rob him, and he took them out. The Kimmy said on the table, she said, you're actually being investigated by the feds right now for the 3 missing guys that he chopped up. So yeah, he handled that situation. So if I'm getting robbed and I take out the robbers and it happens in my house, I'm just gonna call the police. He chopped the bodies up. He did a bunch of other weird stuff. I don't know. So yeah, no, he just as wrong as all of them. Very, very evil. You know what I'm saying? But salute to bingeable recaps. Love that content. I am definitely a fan of that channel. How are y'all feeling about Beauty and Black season 2 part 2? Season 3 has now been greenlit. How y'all feeling about it, man? Are you going to go check it out if you haven't seen it yet? I mean, we can sit here and watch the recap all day, but you're going to watch it and get locked in if you've already been watching it. And if you haven't watched it, watch that thing from season 1. Watch it from season 1. You might fuck with it. But yeah, tell me in the comments how you're feeling about that. All right, on to the next one. We got Invincible season 4 drop. Where all my blurs at? Where all my Invincible watches at? I got anybody that watch Invincible? Come on, man. Y'all got to. It's a fire adult cartoon, man. If you've never seen it, it's on Prime Video. Invincible is a fire cartoon. That's all I'm gonna tell you. But now we're walking into season 4. They've released the first 3 episodes. We're gonna react to what the boy Sammy J Reacts say to that, though. Let me see. He always be breaking it down the right way. Salute to that brother. And let's get into it. Did y'all like season 4, the opening, the first 3 episodes? Let me know in the comments.
Invincible is finally back, and so is my trauma, because I finally finished watching the first 3 episodes of Invincible season 4, and my therapist is gonna need a therapist after what Robert Kirkman just put me through. But this season is all gas, no brakes. Coming off of the Invincible War and the Conquest fight, I feel like I'm out of breath, and he doesn't even go here. But boy, oh boy, is this season shaping up to be the best one of the entire series, because we got so much drama, suspense, action.
We're on the purge of we're coming up on the Viltrumite War. That's gonna get crazy when Viltrum just totally invades Earth and it's Mark and the other heroes on Earth versus a bunch of Viltrumites. Come on, bro. Viltrumites is basically Kryptonians.
Moral conundrums galore and some insanely shocking moments that I couldn't believe I'm still recovering from. But I'm not gonna lie to you, the trauma got me feeling pump thick of hell. I think I played that shit out last season, so I'm gonna keep edging y'all until I actually feel.
Oh,
and I'm gonna be recapping.
Sammy J, you gonna keep wetting us?
And reviewing the episodes with spoilers. So this is your spoiler warning. You have been warned. But either way, me and you know what we gotta do. We gotta talk about it.
Hey, we spoil the country around here, Jack. Don't even get mad. Don't do the well, I want to watch it, but you spoil it. Fuck all that.
We pick up with our boy Mark, still healing from the Conquest fight, which, by the way, remains one of the most traumatizing things I've ever seen since my last bank statement. But look at the drip, man. Shout out Daft Punk, because he's robot rocking those robotic casts. Sea Salt's healthcare plan is top.
When I first saw the picture of Mark like this before actually watching the season, I thought he lost his limbs in the Conquest fight. No, just real broken bones.
Top tier. But I absolutely love the opening scene of Invincible Inc. and Mark, Oliver, and Eve sweeping aside a bunch of B and C list villains with that "If I Get High by Nothing of Thieves" needle drop. Chills. Great way to get us back into this world and reestablish where these characters are at and what this season's most likely gonna feel like. But right out of the gate, this first episode does a great job in establishing the thematic elements of this season and the moral conundrums on who should live and who should die, consequences. Mark has spent his whole entire superhero career trying to do the right thing, locking people up, but they keep getting out and they keep hurting people. As he's done holding back now. He ain't got a devil and a
That's a concept to think about. What if somebody, because Viltrumites, again, they're basically Kryptonians. That would be like, what if Superman was fighting and just decided not to hold back no more? We're talking that kind of strength. He takes it easy on a lot of his opponents, and this would be him not holding back. That's like killer territory.
An angel on his shoulder. He got Batman and the Punisher on his shoulder. Does he hold on to his moral code? Or should he permanently end these threats to save lives? We're watching a slow death of Mark's innocence. And I gotta be real with you, this show does a great job in handling that moral gray area better than most other comic media. And speaking of threats, the villain roster this season is crazy. Those damn Sequids are like cockroaches that just never go away. But we finally got the introduction of dinosaurs who, by the way, the fight scene between him and Mark, the animation was pretty crispy there. But
fire. Dinosaurus, if they play this cartoon all the way out, Dinosaurus is very, very important. He's a very, very vicious character, great opponent for Mark.
He's going to present a whole new moral conundrum for Mark, and I can't wait to see that play out, because Dinosaurus is going to find Mark at the right time. And for non-comic readers, imagine if a climate change activist got bit by a radioactive T-Rex and decided that the best way to save the planet was domestic terrorism. Yay! That's basically Dinosaurus. He's kind of like the Invincible Universe's version of the Lizard, but with MCU Thanos' ideology. Too many mouths, not enough to go around. And the craziest part is he kind of makes some valid points. Y'all are going to see Mark going to be fighting him, and he's going to be like, well, hold on. He's doing the math in his head like, wait a minute now. This math low-key mathing. But we ain't there yet. Slow down. We also got introduced to Universa, voiced by Denai Guerrera, and they did that Invincible thing where they introduced a villain who's going to play a bigger role later on, but for now she gets packed up real quick. She basically has all her power in this staff. She's kind of like Thor for real. That staff holds the entire source of her power. Just fucks up Mark.
That shit didn't mean nothing. Adam and Eve put hands on her ass. You see this shit? Cheek, folded.
And even though Eve's powers are kind of on the fritz, she punches the dog shit out of Universa and knocks her out. I felt it. I was like, God, I wanted to stand over Universa and say, you gotta knock the fuck out, man. But with Eve's powers on the fritz and the Sequid's trying to cover everything, Cecil enlists the help of Mark. When Mark does one of the most shocking things I've seen yet, he kills their leader in Russ Livingston. Cut the head of the snake and the body will fall. But the problem here is Russ Livingston was just an innocent man. Take one life to save thousands. And this.
How y'all feel about that as a concept? That's always been that concept of when people are on the railroad track concept. Salute, Dom. Salute. Please go and follow my man Dom's gas station for all Zod content. He is your man. But how y'all feel about that concept? It's always the railroad concept. You're on a train and the train is about to go off the track. Now, the train is about to split into two. One way, you could hit 5 people. Or if the train goes another way, you hit 1 person. Which one do you pick? Do you hit 1 person and save the 5 people? Or do you save that 1 person and hit the other 5 people? Same thing. He was the head of the snake. He was the evil alien. Take him out. There's certain villains that need to go. Yes, new season. First 3 episodes just dropped, my boy. Roll up, light up, and get into it.
This is when I leaned in and locked in and knew Robert Kirkman was not holding back this season. And the post-credit scene was even crazier. Conquest gonna break out right away? To quote Sea Salt, fuck. Yeah, I'd say that's about right. But I mean, we all called it last season. You're an idiot for trying to make him a reanimant. That shit was never gonna work. And I love how they immediately established just how much of a menace Thrag is by having Conquest, fucking Conquest, bend the knee and ask him to murder him for failing.
Yeah, because you know how much of a, you know what a good ass whooping feel like. That boy Thrag up there like, no. Don't worry, I won't waste my time with you. Yeah, that dude.
You know how fucking crazy that is? Y'all are not ready for the mustache, man. I'm letting you know that right now. But I think episode 2 was probably my favorite episode, and it might be one of my favorite episodes in the entire show. And I like to call this episode Flashbacks and Backshots, because not only do we get context on the origins of Nolan, but we also get context onto why the Viltrum Empire was almost erased. We open up with a scene of Nolan training some young Viltrumites, and the whole time I was watching, I was like, it looked like Mark.
It did look like Mark, but his voice sounded different, and then that's when I kind of figured out that, oh, that might be his father.
Really good job in making him kind of look like Mark, but not really, because I mean, yeah, that's his daddy. We see why he is so brutal. His own fucking parents almost killed, well, his mom almost killed him, and his dad was like, hey, chill, relax. I thought she was about to hit him with a think, Nolan. But we find out a virus almost wiped out the entire Viltrum Empire, and it's called Scourge. But outside of the flashbacks, it really focuses.
That's the thing. That Scourge virus, if they released it during the Viltrumite War, that would take out all the Viltrumites, including Invincible, his brother, and his father.
On Nolan and Alan's relationship, one of my favorite duos, if not my favorite duo. No, it is my favorite duo. As they're out here trying to form a resistance, Nolan's explaining all of the weaknesses of the Viltrum Empire and powerful weapons, creatures, and people across the universe that can help defeat the last 50. And let me tell you something. They redid that one scene in the comic of Alan and Talia, you know, getting it on while Nolan's.
They riding around the galaxy searching for all these things he just named. People that can help in the Viltrum Empire, certain artifacts and weapons to kill the last 50. If 50 attack Earth, if 50 Viltrumites attack Earth, it's a done data. So every time they get on the ship to go to a next place, Alan and his wife getting it popping in the next room. And your man here got to listen to it out in the room. Alan in there cracking buns the strong way.
On the couch 6 different times, like 7 times. That shit was funny as hell. We finally get to see one of the mini goats in Space Racer and his weapon. Turns out Nolan left him there for 100 years, but he hates the Viltrum Empire so much that he's most likely going to join their coalition. Then they get these little stink bugs that have kryptonite inside of for the Viltrumites. They visit the Galdarians and they tell them that you actually have a human on your Earth known as Tech Jacket that can help y'all out. And then they go to try to capture some Ragnars, but that shit almost ended up in their death. But the biggest kicker is we find out that Thetis, who is known to the Viltrum Empire as the Betrayer, was actually the one who created the Scourge virus and took out billions of Viltrumites. And for a second, Nolan was like ready to take his ass out. But Thetis brings up a good point. It's like the Viltrum Empire killed more than billions. So I was just repaying the.
Yeah. Thetis been hiding in plain sight the whole time. As soon as he take off that beard, you know he a Viltrumite. Niggas is like Targaryens or something.
Favor. Now, in case you're reminding, Thetis actually was the one who assassinated Argol, who was the previous Grand Regent, and that's why he was ultimately known as the Betrayer. And I love how Nolan is kind of like on the fence of joining this war. Like, we know he's going to end up joining that war. Your sons are going to be in it. But I love how it ends with Nolan saying, I'm going to go get my son. Whoa, that link up going to be generational. I can't wait. And then episode 3 was kind of just playing the greatest hits. We got the return of Titan, Mr. Liu, and Oliver picking up the slack from Invincible and Adam Eve, who's struggling with her powers even more. Those stupid-ass interdimensional aliens show up.
I had a theory before we got to the end what was going on with Adam and Eve, especially since her and Mark are dating and they grown, which means Mark is smacking buns.
again kidnap some humans before the Guardians of the Globe and Mark stop him, or make him retreat, I should say. And then we get a big ass fucking dragon fight scene again, where Oliver almost got his ass caved in. But thankfully, Mark shows up, saves the day, saves his brother. But dog, he was almost about to take Titan's head off for messing with his family. And I mean, to be fair, Mark ended off last season.
He was about to give Titan the ground and pound. You know, Titan can turn into a rock character. He knocked the rock off his face. It went down to his real face. I said, ooh, this might get bad. But it was fire to see, though.
By saying anyone who fucks with my family gonna be put 6 feet under, breathing rights revoked. Like, you know, you're tripping when Oliver got to be the voice of reason. Thankfully, Oliver talks Mark out of it as he just flies away. And then, of course, the damn crime syndicate reforms again like the damn Avengers, because
I know where your family lives.
But the biggest twist to end off this episode and leave us on a nasty cliffhanger until next week is that Adam Eve is pregnant. That's why her powers have been on the fritz.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, you're putting a child into this mess. Oh boy, I can't wait for this season. We're only 3 episodes in.
Salute to Sammy J Reacts on that one. I can't wait for next week to see if how fast is Adam and Eve gonna tell Mark that she's pregnant. That could change whether he wants to go to war or not. You know, when you have a child, you know, it's no longer about you anymore. So y'all don't know. I don't know, man, but I like them first 3 episodes. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me how y'all feeling about that. All right. On to the next one. Oh, 50 Cent versus Remy Ma. I never thought I'd see that on my little bingo card this year, huh? Yeah, I didn't think I'd see that. This is crazy. But the reason why is just hilarious to me. Hold on. I'm gonna get y'all sharp right quick. Hold up. This is by way of Chig Smooth. Y'all know what we like, what he do over there. Y'all listen and learn. 50 Cent, not 50 Cent. Rick Ross has sent Remy Ma a cease and desist for a movie she's putting out on her network. Y'all check it out.
No way, boy. Ricky Rose, we need you to come to the front of the congregation, my brother. We gotta have a word with you. Looks like the biggest boss, Ricky Rose, is now sending out the biggest cease and desist for a movie that he's claiming closely portrays his own life. That's right, you guys. If you guys don't know, Remy Ma has her own network where she's actually working on putting out movies and shows. Now, back in November of last year,
sound like Remy trying to do like a Tubi or a Pluto TV and make it like her own type shit. All right, that might actually be fire. Salute to Remy for the Remy Network.
Remy announced the network. It was going to be called the Remy Ma Network, and it was going to be an advertisement-free streaming platform. According to Remy Ma, it's an app that's going to have films, documentaries, rap battles, music specials, sports content, and so much more. She actually recently just announced that she was going to have her own talk show on the network.
I got my own TV show, and it's gonna be on the Remy Network. Yep, I got my own talk show coming to the Remy Network, and yeah, you guys will be able to sit here and see me in all my glory, delivering the news and the gossip and different type of things that we can make and things that you need just to make it like a greater and better place. It'll be brought to you by the Remy Network, featuring Reminisce, me, Real Talk with Reminisce. Or should I call it Real Talk with Remy? Or should I just call it Reminisce? I don't know.
Now, from what it looks like, and I could be wrong, I don't think she has her own film studio, so she might have been licensing a bunch of shows, movies, or any documentaries that other people were working on. And I believe that is how we got to this movie that was supposed to be coming out. The movie is called The CO, and it was set to be released in a couple months. Now, after the Remy Network dropped the trailers for this movie, Ricky Rose saw the trailer. He immediately called his lawyer and said, "Hey, bruh, we gotta put a stop to this." The movie was initially titled The Biggest Boss, which everybody knows is the name that Ricky Rose calls himself. Ross is also claiming that the movie used
Rick Ross demands Remy Ma halt the film The Biggest Boss, says project uses his name and story. A dispute is brewing between Remy Ma and Rick Ross after the Miami rapper raised legal concerns over a film project he says hits a little too close to home. According to TMZ, attorneys for Rick Ross sent a letter claiming the project, originally titled The Biggest Boss, includes unauthorized use of his music and trade name, and demanded that the film not move forward in its current form. His team also argued the project could confuse fans into thinking he's involved, citing social media reactions as evidence. The film reportedly follows a police officer. There it is. I had to read. That's what it is. Okay. Officer Ricky don't want nobody to be reminded that he Officer Ricky. The film reportedly follows a police officer who steals a drug dealer's life story and turns it into a rap career, a premise that has drawn attention because it mirrors Rick Ross's real life past. Ross, born William Roberts, worked as a correctional officer in Florida in the mid 1990s.
Authorized use of his music and also trade name, and he demands that the film not move forward in its current form. Rick Ross and his lawyer also raised regarding The Biggest Boss and takes the matter seriously. She has maintained the personal and professors personally unaware, a premise that has drawn attention because it mirrors Rick Ross's real life past. Now, Remy's lawyer did respond back. They said Remy was personally unaware of the concerns raised regarding The Biggest Boss and takes the matter seriously. She has maintained a personal and professional relationship with Rick Ross for more than 20 years and would never intentionally engage in any action that could harm his brand or cause offense. Now, it looks like Ricky Rose and Remy are working things out. Remy did reach out to Rick Ross to resolve it, and she's also taking steps to prevent similar issues from happening in the future. Now, of course, some people have speculated, was this done out of spite because Ricky Rose is cool with Clarissa Shields?
I don't know if it's that deep now, but I mean,
however, from what it looks like, it doesn't seem that way. Now, I did reach out to the director of the movie for a statement. He told me, as the director, my goal was to tell a story about pressure, identity, and consequences of becoming something you're not. The film was created as an original dramatic work and is not a biographical statement about any individual. We respect all artists protecting their brand, and moving forward, the project is continuing under the title The CEO, which better reflects the core of the story.
Which better reflects the core of the story, aka you was a cop, nigga. That's exactly what they doing. I just want everybody to remember you was a CEO.
I asked him, hey man, did you use Rick Ross as an influence in any way when making this film? He says, when I write, I pull from a lot of personal experience, things I've lived, things I've seen over the years, industry situations that happened around me, things that happen to people I know, and real pressures I've watched people deal with in different spaces. A lot of what's inside this film is very personal to me creatively. Anybody who really knows me and watches this movie is going to catch moments that come from real emotions, real observations, and real life. I've watched a lot of artists on the come up trying to figure out their way, and I think they'll understand this film deeply because some people are truly willing to risk everything just to say they made it.
I ain't gonna lie, Don, bro. Everybody was singing that every day. I'm hustling. Yep. Everybody was singing that. Everybody was bumping the Teflon Don album. I don't care what you say, I know you was.
So, as you guys can see, according to the film director, John Godot, he's claiming this film was pulled from his own personal experiences. Now, here's what I think happened, you guys. Even though Remy is the owner of this network, she also has co-founders as well. On top of that, she's not the person overseeing every single movie, every single documentary that's going to be on her platform. This was a huge oversight by somebody on her team. The fact that she actually reached out directly to Rick Ross shows me there's no malicious intent with this movie.
She trying not to get her shit shut down. That's what that is. Hold on, this is an advertisement. I don't get paid for that. My bad, Chase.
Send a cease and desist to Remy Ma. 50 went on Instagram to clown Rick Ross about it, saying, what's happened here? Laughing my ass off. Now, 50 is not the only person criticizing Rick Ross for sending the cease and desist. Y'all remember when Rick Ross jumped into the Drake beef with Kendrick Lamar, and his only reasoning was because Drake sent a cease and desist to French Montana?
I don't follow you because you sent the motherfucking cease and desist to French Montana. Was it so?
And Rick Ross also called Drake all types of names, including white boy.
White boy, white boy. Crody, Crody, Crody.
Well, it backfired. It is kind of crazy that Rick Ross would actually hit up his lawyers to send a cease and desist to Remy Ma when he could have just easily hit her up personally.
Yeah, that is weird. You did clown, you know what I mean? You clown Drake for sending the cease and desist to French Montana, but you turned around and did it to Remy Ma? And you got her number? Come on, bro.
And of course, there's also the elephant in the room. A lot of people are also saying, hey, Ricky Rose, don't you think for a second that we forgot that you actually stole your whole persona from the real Rick Ross?
Facts. See, I'm telling you, more and more that I listen to certain shit, I'm starting to hate rap now, man. Like,
Freeway Rick Ross. So how can you be mad of somebody making a movie about you when you got your whole persona from somebody else? And even though Ricky Rose has admitted to being a correctional officer, I personally thought that he was trying to get away from the label of being known as a CEO. So why are you now fighting so hard when somebody's trying to make a movie about it when you wanted nothing to do with it at a certain point in your life? Maybe I'm tripping. You guys get in the comments below.
nah. Your boy got caught up and he don't want this generation to remember or to be reminded that he was a CEO. That's all that is, y'all. That's all that is. When he got found out to be a CEO, I don't think that whole social media thing was really popping like that. That shit popping now. It's only gonna get worse from here, but I mean, stop trying to be stuff you're not, man. This was a great sesh. I'm fried, died, laid to the side. Happy Friday to everybody that pulled up in the chat, man. Salute Dom, salute Jamie Lanier, salute everybody that spent their 420 with your boy, man. This has been a good one. Another episode of the Offenders Initiative podcast with Slate DiBiase, and we out.